We'll start/continue with Bob Marjanovic from the Lions Audio Network, Black Press Media, WIT Enterprises, and other networks not named. Bob, go ahead.
All right, start off, Matthew, why BC, why return to the Lions Den?
Yeah, well, it wasn't that hard of a decision, to be honest. I mean, with when the season ended and we had our exit meetings, I've told Neil and Ryan that my wish was to come back with the Lions, and they had the same opinion. So I mean, we just simply let the time be a little bit, let the Grey Cup pass, and no, they've reached out to me and to my agent this past weekend, so we were able to get things rolling quickly. But I mean, no, I feel home in BC. Love the team, love the culture we built. And no, it was just natural for me to be back with the team.
You talk about the culture and all that. How excited are you, or how much of an impact did it have having Buck Pierce named as the head coach?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's been change to the coaching staff, as many people know. In the past couple of weeks, I had the chance to talk to Buck last week, and I mean, I had a really positive first conversation with him just to get the touch base and to know him a little bit. So I mean, the success they had as a team, especially offensively with Winnipeg over the past couple of years, is definitely not a secret, and I mean, he was a big part in that. So I mean, we're looking forward to keep building with him and with the rest of the coaching staff that will be around for the next couple of seasons. So no, it's going to be great for sure. And I mean, I think we have a lot of talent on the team, and everybody is really, really excited for the upcoming season and to be able to try to win some football games. That's for sure.
Last one from me. When you look at the big picture, what's it mean to you to have an owner like Amar Doman in place, like a guy who's willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that this team's a winner?
Yeah, well, I've spoke on the impact of Amar in the past, but yeah, obviously on the field, his desire to have a quality football team on the field is unmatched. But I wasn't there in 2021 when he acquired the team, but ever since I got to BC in 2022, you can really see his vision for the Lions and wanting to bring fans to the party in BC Place. I mean, and what he did just with the week one parties and the concerts with One Republic, 50 Cent that I missed this year, LL Cool J, and all the marketing and just the social media and just I want to say the popularity of the Lions within the community. And I mean, you can feel it when we talk to people in the restaurants, on the streets, or at the games. Everybody is proud to be a Lions fan in Vancouver and in BC in general. When we go to our training camp in Kamloops, when we had the Victoria game in 2024. So no, it's just a really, really fun group to be part of. And he's definitely a big, big piece of that. And I mean, we're really, really proud to represent BC and to represent the Lions. And he's been great to the organization ever since he jumped in the party.
Let's go to Ben Abel from the Golden V podcast. Ben.
Hi, Matt. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Matthew. Quick question for you. I had something noted down here from a previous press conference back in October. That was in reference to the Montreal game. You talked about needing to be process-driven into playing good football. I'm just not too goal-driven. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that now that you're going to be here for the full season with a full training camp? Because that was another thing that came up in that press conference in October. Was that you were maybe challenged, or what was it like trying to come in mid-season and fit back with the team?
Yeah. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Just your first question. I mean, when I think it's something that's pretty common in football, but my vision of somebody, or myself being process driven over being goal driven, is more to focus on the things you can control on the field. So I mean, focus on your technique, right, on your effort, on doing your assignment the best way as possible. So I mean, if I'm talking very, very specifically as a D-line in general, I mean, right, people will often judge you on the amount of sacks you get, the amount of pressures you get, or stuff like that. How many tackles you're getting in the game if you swat passes in the game. But there's so many things going on a football field that, I mean, for me, it's to focus on my assignment, on playing hard and on beating the offensive line across from me. And I mean, that's basically the only things I can control on a football team when I play on defense most of the time. So I mean, being in the right place, beating the guy across of me, and doing it as fast and as efficient as possible. And afterwards, I mean, if the quarterback rolls towards me, if he has an escape window, if he throws the ball quickly, if he throws a deep ball, you can't bat it down. I mean, a bunch of stuff like that I mean are out of your control. So that's what I see on being more process driven than goal driven. And if everybody keeps doing their part on the field and on the team, all 45 guys together, and you get compounding effects of guys having individual success on that part, that's when collectively we will have success, and will win football game, play good football, be entertaining for the fans to watch. So that's really my mentality on that part.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, Ben.
Let's go to Richard Bautin from Le Journal de Québec.
Salut,
Hey,
Mathieu.
salut Richard.
Ça va bien?
Ça va bien, toi?
Yes. Mathieu, tester le marché des agents libres, est-ce que c'est de quoi que tu aurais aimé faire? Ben, tu aurais pu faire si tu ne l'as pas fait, mais qu'est-ce qui t'a convaincu de ne pas aller dans cette direction-là?
Oui, bien, je l'ai fait préalablement dans ma carrière, là, de me rendre jusqu'au tempering window pour voir des offres d'autres équipes. Comme je l'ai dit en anglais un petit peu préalablement, là, c'est à la fin de la saison, pour moi, c'était clair que l'équipe avec laquelle je voulais évoluer, c'était BC. Puis je leur ai dit, j'étais transparent avec eux. Puis c'était réciproque, ils voulaient me revoir. Donc, à partir de là, tout simplement, BC m'a fait une offre de contrat que, avec mon agent Sachon, on trouvait plus que raisonnable, on l'a accepté. Puis ça s'est terminé là. Donc, au coup d'aller tester le marché des agents libres pour peut-être explorer d'autres avenues. Je veux dire, on aurait pu, mais ultimement, mon souhait, c'était de jouer avec BC. Donc, à partir du moment où on avait un contrat qu'on était satisfait avec ça, on n'a pas poussé la réflexion beaucoup plus longtemps, puis on a simplement décidé que le mieux pour moi, ça allait être d'être de retour avec l'équipe.
Comme ça, Montréal, ça va aller plus tard.
Montréal, le calendrier n'est pas encore sorti, là, mais c'est sûr qu'on risque de jouer un aller-retour. Donc, on risque d'être à Percival Molson. D'habitude, c'est autour du jour du travail, là, mais je n'ai pas encore l'horaire pour 2025.
Et c'est pas si important pour toi de jouer à Montréal, ou que ça se situe, c'est une priorité à un moment donné, ou ça ne fait pas partie de l'équation?
C'est évident que Montréal, c'est la ville où je suis né, où j'ai grandi, où j'ai été élevé, où j'ai joué mon football mineur. C'est une ville où j'habite, j'aime beaucoup la ville. La réalité, c'est que pour moi, c'est une décision football de rester avec BC. J'entame ma 7e année l'année prochaine, si je ne me trompe pas, de ma carrière de football professionnel. Puis écoute, là, j'ai eu beaucoup. C'est allé dans plusieurs sens. J'ai passé par Chicago, Edmonton. Après ça, quand ça avait un petit peu moins bien été, ben c'est BC qui m'a donné ma chance, puis qui m'a redonné l'opportunité de me faire valoir comme joueur. Puis je suis évidemment je suis reconnaissant pour cette opportunité-là, puis ça l'a bien été. Puis la vérité, c'est quand je dis que c'est une décision football, je veux gagner avec cette équipe-là, je veux les aider à atteindre la finale de la Coupe Grey, à la remporter. Je pense qu'on a les éléments nécessaires pour, là, que ce soit avec Nathan à corps arrière, sur la ligne défensive, on a beaucoup, beaucoup de bons éléments. C'est mes chums là-bas. Là, fait que c'est pas une décision très, très compliquée. Là, rien contre Montréal. Là, je suis sûr qu'ils sont remplis de bons gars aussi dans l'équipe. Puis je connais bien l'entraîneur-chef puis le coach de la défensive là-bas. Puis j'ai eu beaucoup de plaisir à jouer pour Edmonton. Mais c'est ma gang là-bas. Puis c'est juste logique pour moi là, de retourner avec ma gang.
NFL, est-ce qu'il y a eu un petit peu de... Vous avez
Non.
regardé?
Non, pas suite à ce que je me suis fait. Pas depuis que j'ai re-signé avec BC, là, dans le fond, après m'être fait release par Détroit. Donc,
OK, donc il n'y a rien eu là,
non.
après la saison. Non.
Merci, Richard. Yeah.
Kowalski, you want me to translate?
I was.
Basically asked him, he said, how come he didn't want to play in Montreal? He said he loves BC, it's a great fit. Then he asked him if he wanted to play with the NFL. He said, no, the NFL thing's over. So there you go. All that, and it's done
Thank
for
you,
him.
Moj, for the translation.
And he loves Club WestJet too. Anyone have a quick follow-up?
I've got one.
Sure.
John Bowman has left to become the D-line coach with the Edmonton Elks. What's it mean to you to have somebody new at that position and just to get different ideas and understand different concepts and just basically broaden your horizons, I guess, from that perspective?
Calgary, I believe it was. Yeah.
Oh, Calgary. Pardon me. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've told Bowman that already. I mean, personally, and not that I want to expose our personal discussions to everybody, but I mean, the first thing I'll say is that he's been a great mentor, a great coach, a great friend over the past 3 years that I've spent with him. Him coming off his Hall of Fame career as a player, and no, just giving us a chance to the young group we had in 2022 to just believing in us and pushing us to achieve what we could do and be an important part of this football team as a D-line group. I mean, I only have great words for him, and he knows that. So, I mean, I obviously wish him good luck in Calgary, and the D-line group there is lucky to have him. So, I'm sure he's going to have great success there because of the individual that he is. But going forward for BC, with BC, I mean, obviously, I'll be really, really excited and open-minded about whoever is going to be the D-line coach there with the team. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to, I want to say, to improve my game in different aspects and the way he will see the game. And I mean, that's my only hope, is for whoever is there to help us as a group bring our game to the next level and just work on some little details to make sure we are as efficient as possible and being able to help the team win some football games. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah.
And the other thing too, Ryan Rigmaiden has talked about this, general manager. He's talked about this group playing with a lot more confidence, not wilting in when facing adversity, and playing with a lot more toughness. He talked about grit, toughness, and that's one of the reasons they brought Buck in. I imagine you've got to be excited about that shift, about getting a defense that plays with a lot of confidence in tough situations, and establishing that mindset from the start, right in training camp, right?
Right, I agree, and I mean, I think we did in the past couple of years also a great job at playing good football. I just don't think it was consistent enough, and I mean, we were, as players, I think we were conscious about that. And I mean, we've talked about in the past couple of weeks of the past season. I mean, talking to some of the older guys on the team, and there were issues on the defense that we were aware of and that we had trouble fixing. And I'm small details, like we felt like we always started flat in the second half. And I mean, we knew it and we were conscious about it, and just things like that we had that we didn't achieve in terms of, I was talking about earlier about being process driven and not goal driven. I mean, that's something that we knew we had to do and we couldn't necessarily achieve. So just smaller things like that we have to work on to be more successful as a defense, more successful as a team. And I mean, yeah, it's we're conscious about the challenges ahead of us. I mean, we were in the West Final for the past 2 seasons. Last year, we got out in the first round of the playoffs. That's not where we want to be as a team. For the couple of guys that I've been talking to in the past couple of weeks that are coming back, everybody is hungry for more and for more success collectively, and to be able to win the Grey Cup. So that's what we want as a team. And it starts back in May for training camp, and all the way until the end of November. So that's the plan, but it's a long project. And I mean, we're all aware of that. So we will just have to work together for a whole 18 regular season game to be able to be as good as possible for the playoffs. That's really
last one for me for the day. I remember when we bumped into each other in Victoria and we talked about the fact that you were, quote, 15 pounds heavier, and you said, no, I'm the same weight that I played at the CFL. An erroneous report from someone who I won't name. How different is it for you to train for the Canadian? Actually, let me throw this back. Is it different for you to train from the Canadian game to the American game, or basically do you train the same way?
No, physically, I mean, just if you're just talking about the weight room, and running is going to be the exact same for me regardless. I feel like mentally the goal will be different, where it's different a little bit to come back to BC in an environment I know, and the objective is to be as good as possible as a player, to be able to win the Grey Cup, where going into Detroit last year, being in the situation that I was on, I was fighting for a chance to make this team. I was more of an unknown player on this team. So mentally, I think I was maybe in a different place, but physically it won't change anything in my preparation.
Yeah, because a lot of times you hear guys will train differently. They got to put weight on for the American game, a little bit more speed and cardio for the Canadian game, but for you it doesn't change. Okay, that's good.
Thanks, Moj.
Thanks, Moj. Richard, your hand's up. Did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, please. Mathieu, ça va-tu plus facile? Comment c'était difficile de revenir en plein milieu de saison? Tu arrivé là le 30 août, il restait 6 games. Jusqu'à quel point c'est difficile de faire la transition? Puis est-ce que tu vas être dans une situation plus favorable cette année, même si.
Oui, ça sera favorable, oui, là, juste parce que je vais être au camp d'entraînement. Ça va être plus facile un peu d'embarquer dans le groove avec l'énergie de l'équipe. Mais l'année passée, plus spécifiquement pour moi, ça n'a pas été une adaptation difficile du tout parce que j'étais tellement habitué de jouer dans la Ligue canadienne, puis en plus de revenir avec BC, mon ancienne équipe, en plus avec le même coaching staff, 80% des mêmes joueurs. Donc, je n'ai pas l'impression que ça a été une adaptation qui était très, très difficile pour moi puisque c'était un environnement que je connaissais très bien.
Dernière chose, la NFL, est-ce que c'est encore dans les plans ou je comprends que c'est pas de ton ressort nécessairement, mais est-ce que tu es ouvert encore ou
Ouais, ben écoute, là, on me posait cette question-là il y a 4 ans, on me l'a posée il y a 2 ans. Je pense que honnêtement, ma réponse ne change pas. C'est loin dans mon champ d'idées en ce moment. C'est pas quelque chose à quoi je pense du tout. C'est pas un objectif que j'ai de retourner dans la NFL, sans dire que je mets une croix là-dessus. Le seul focus que j'ai en ce moment, c'est d'être le meilleur joueur de football possible pour les Lions de la Colombie-Britannique. Point à la ligne, c'est ça qui va me motiver à m'entraîner, à me lever le matin, à pratiquer, à être la meilleure version de moi-même, c'est d'être le meilleur joueur possible pour cette équipe-là, puis gagner des parties de football avec BC. Là, le reste, c'est pas dans mes objectifs immédiats, là, du tout.
Bob en
Okay,
a
Ben, we
parlé.
got time for one more, Ben.
Thanks. Matthew, just looking at some social media stuff this morning, Firehound reporting that potentially Mike Benavides takes over as the defensive coordinator for the BC Lions. I don't know if you can speculate, but what does a guy like Mike mean to you? And if permitted a follow-up question, what does a guy like Ryan Phillips mean to you?
Yeah. You know what? I've had a relationship with Benny for a little bit now, just because he was the coordinator in Edmonton before I got there, so we didn't cross paths there. But people were talking about him previously, about the type of coach he was. So I mean, I had heard of him early in my career. So when he got hired in BC as a special teams coordinator, I kind of had an idea of the guy he was. And I mean, getting to know him, he's an intense coach. But somebody that I feel that is fair and that really wants to get the best out of his players. So that's something that I find interesting in his approach. And I mean, I have a great relationship with him. He's a great friend of guys that coached me in college. So Glenn, Mark, Polo. So I mean, we have that relationship from there. So I only have good words from Benny. I mean, played on special teams, obviously, in the past couple of seasons too, a little bit with BC, had me blocking 1 or 2 punts. So I mean, I've only great words to say about Benny. And as a defensive coordinator, hypothetically, I mean, I know guys who've played in this defense and that enjoyed it. And for your follow-up question, well, I mean, it goes a little bit back to what I said about Bowman. If I have to speak with RP, I mean, he was the coordinator. He was the guy who gave me a chance in his defense in 2022. And I mean, I'm more than grateful for what he's done for me. And I mean, his energy, the relationship he has with his players is mainly his biggest strength, and obviously his knowledge of the game, playing for the time that he's had. I mean, I only have good words to say about RP. So I mean, regardless, I mean, I don't know who the candidates are necessarily for the job for the defensive coordinator, but I mean, these are 2 guys that I enjoyed playing for in the past and that I would enjoy playing for in the future also.